Alright, so welcome back everybody. So for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to play Kabuto Sumo Sakura Slam. This is a standalone Kabuto Sumo, has its own insects to play with, and its own arena, and its own rules, which is why I'm making this how to play for this Kabuto Sumo, because the rules in this one are a little different. First of all, I want to show you guys something. You'll notice there's these corner pieces here, right? Well, watch this. Let's hope I don't miss the... See? So they're meant to be attached permanently to the arena, these four corner pieces. And at first I didn't know that, because there isn't anything in the rulebook that says to stick them to both sides. You see, these are the stickers that you put onto the corner spots. Well, they are not sticky whatsoever on this side. They're only sticky on one side. So I didn't understand what the point in having them was, you know, considering you could just simply knock these side pieces over really easily. I didn't see the point. So I looked it up, because there isn't anything in the rule book that says these actually need to be peeled. So that way the sticky part is on both sides. So that I didn't know. But fortunately I figured it out after destroying one of my stickers. Fortunately I still have 3 more in case something happens to one of these. But hopefully these should stay on for quite a while. As you can see, they're pretty sturdy, as I was able to pick up the whole arena with those posts. Not that I would recommend doing that all the time. I just wanted to make sure and show you guys that these are meant to be attached with little sticky things, okay? Now, I didn't put them on 100% good, so some of these edges are a little sticky. That could affect some gameplay a little bit for me, but, you know, oh well. Sometimes you just can't do it the best way possible. So anyways, so yes, this is a little bit different. First of all, if you're playing a 2-player game, you'll put basically this champion belt here in the middle of the arena. And so if you are in a normal game of Kabuto Sumo, if you knock out your opponent's piece out of the ring, you win the game. But in a 2-player game, if you also instead manage to knock this out, the champion belt, that also counts as a win. So when you're playing a 2-player mode, you have 2 ways of knocking 2 different things out that will allow you to win the game, which is nice. Which is indeed nice. Okay, so that's how you would just simply change the 2-player mode a little bit. And the setup is basically the same for 2 to 4, with the only difference being that these medium discs here, if you're playing a 3 or 4-player game, they would be the additional sumo wrestler pieces. That is all. Now you'll notice these green discs on the outside are slightly sticking out. They are supposed to slightly stick out. It's not going to be perfect, but the rulebook does show them slightly sticking out a little bit. I guess that's just how it is. Okay, so let's talk about how you play this game, as it is a little different. So when you decide on first of all, you'll notice your slide-in piece that allows you to slide the pieces in has this little corner piece that sticks out on the other side as well. So that means when you go to push your pieces in, you can't start here in the middle. You can only do corners, okay? Now you can do it like that, or you can flip it around and do it like that, okay? Now let's say I was starting here. That means I have to push in straight in this direction. Now as I'm going this way, I can kind of go in a little bit at an angle, but it still has to be pushed in straight, okay? And remember, these are not moving. So whenever I'm pushing in, is going to clash with this. And it's not going to, you know, push these out of the ring. Also, when you decide to push in from a corner, if there isn't, everybody gets 4 of these discs of their color, okay? And when you start from a spot, and you don't have a color of your disc on these corner spots, you will then place it here, like so, when you take your turn. Now, if you ever do take your turn at a spot that already has one of your colors, you will not put another one on that corner. But the idea is you do want to be able to play this game and get all 4 of your colors on each corner piece, okay? If you manage to do this and play 4 turns, on your 4th turn that you manage, or, you know, if you manage to do this 4 turns in a row without going at the same spot multiple times, once you have 4 here, you can take an additional turn. So basically, once you place your 4th disc out, you're taking 2 turns from the same location. That's pretty nice. So that's different. This one potentially can give you 2 awesome turns, but they have to be in the same location. That's cool. So that's kind of a different change as well, that you have to do that. And then once you do take your 2nd turn with the corner slam is what it's called. The official term is corner slam. When you do a corner slam, you'll just remove your discs. Now your opponents are going to be putting their colors on here, and they're pretty easy to remove. It shouldn't be an issue removing yours and then putting your opponents back on the spot. But yes, that's how you're going to do it. That doesn't mean you can't go to the same place twice. So if I have my disc here and I decide to go here again, I can. It just means that it's going to be a lot longer before I can take an additional turn at the same time. You know, that's kind of the idea. But yeah, that's basically it. That is basically all the differences between this version of Kabuto Sumo and the original. Just a few minor changes, but enough to at least warrant an additional how to play video. Obviously, just like in the normal game, you want to knock out your opponent's piece to win. Another obvious thing, unless you have never played this game before, just like in regular Kabuto Sumo, if you no longer have any pieces to use in your inventory, you're out of the game, you lose. That's another thing to note. And if you ever have more than 6 pieces in your inventory, so if I have like 6 of these here, or more than 6, I'm going to have to stack one of my pieces on a bigger piece, or the same size of piece, by stacking it onto the arena. So you can never have more than a certain amount of pieces, like 6, I believe it is. And so, but basically, everything else is pretty much the same from a normal game. And obviously, everyone's going to have their own unique abilities and stuff like that, for sure. But that's basically everything you need to know in order to play this particular game. And see you guys again next time.